Day, July 1st, and so I thought it would be a great day to start something new. And I've been thinking for a while about doing a daily challenge of some sort for myself. That being said, I haven't quite determined whether it's going to be a daily photo challenge or a daily art challenge, or maybe a mix of both. I will probably narrow this down a little more specifically, but since it's the first, I thought I would get started today. And what I thought I would do is look for something that I can take a photo of that just makes me happy or grateful. This is inspired a little bit by Tracie's video today. I'll put a link to Tracie's channel in the description of this if I can figure out how, since this is the first time I've done a live. And I'm just doing it with mobile on my cell phone outside. So we'll see if this works and if there's a way to add information. But I'm coming out here to our garden, and I've planted some flowers that have just recently bloomed. The fact that I'm on a live video right now is going to mean that I'm going to draw a blank and not be able to think of anything, because it makes me a little nervous that I have no opportunity to edit or change what I'm doing. What are these called? Well, I can't think of what they're called, but I'll show you what they're like. They're so pretty. The background isn't pretty because we have this gardening fabric on the ground, but they're great because they attract bees, and so they're good for the rest of the garden where we have food growing. But I just thought I would take a little macro photo of that. So I have my camera and my macro lens, and I'm gonna do that, but I didn't really think in advance about whether I would include that in the video or not. So I'm gonna give one thing a try and see if I can rest my camera on this little strawberry situation. And if that doesn't work, maybe I'll see if I can change the thumbnail later and just show you what the photo looked like that way. I don't know. Something I've thought about before is making videos where I'm doing photography, but then how do I do that without a cameraman? Because obviously I can't videotape myself and take photos unless I'm carrying around a tripod. Anyway, so let me see if this will work, and if not, then we'll just call this a first time practice live, and I'll see if I can change the thumbnail to show you the photo and figure out another way to do this in the future. Maybe I will need to just have some sort of tripod with me. Is this gonna work? You're gonna be looking right at the strawberries in your way. Let me see if I can move them. It's probably just gonna fall. Yep. Okay, well that was a first practice. I might just delete this later, but it was an interesting experiment. Or maybe I can use a clip of it in another video to talk about what I'm doing once I narrow down the plan. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm gonna have to do since I do not have a tripod. Let's see. Maybe I'll try one. Here, let me try this bucket. And if this doesn't work, I will end this little live experiment and move on. So this is what I'm working with now. Bucket, and maybe I will just put this rock on top, and that will be my tripod. Let's see how much you can see if I do that. See, can you see the flowers? Okay. Let's see if I can get a photo of these flowers. This might be the most boring video you've ever seen, and if that's the case, that's all right. You don't have to watch. This is totally experimental. But let's see if I can get anything here. Can you hear that? Well, I don't know if you can hear me from where I am, but can you hear the crickets? All right. Let's see. Got my manual focus on. And if you know anything about photography, I can talk you through what I'm doing a little bit here. So I'm just adjusting my ISO so that it's lower because it's not very sunny. Now there's a breeze, so this thing's really moving around, but I'm gonna hope the breeze dies down so I can catch a shot. That's not blurry. Okay, well that's a simple close-up. I'm going to try doing one that includes a couple of flowers, because I think that will look nicer. Maybe a little more interesting to look at. And if the breeze stays away for a second. Then maybe I can get my framing the way I want it. Okay, this one might be cool. I forgot where you were because I had you sitting on a different mock tripod before that didn't work. Let me see if I can show you what I have. So I will try editing that in Photoshop to look a little nicer, and obviously you won't have to deal with the glare. And I'll see if I can make the thumbnail this photo. Thanks for joining me on this experiment. Let's see, since there's someone there, I can see there's one person watching right now. I'm trying to look for my lens cap. Okay, I'll set this on my lap. Since there's someone there, I just want to see if there's a way for me to see the chat and if you're saying anything. Let's see. Chat viewing options. Okay, where is the chat? I don't see a way to see the chat. Oh, don't know what I just did. I think I turned the video off for a second. All right, I don't know if there's a way for me to see the chat. Maybe it's just if I'm on a cell phone, I can't see it. Well, thank you to the one person who joined me live, and yeah, I'll experiment with doing more of these in the future. And I think what I want to do, well, I'm going to do one of two things. Either I'm going to continue with like a daily photo challenge that's pretty simple, and when I find, like, I'll just take you with me as I find whatever I'm going to photograph, and maybe I'll talk a little bit about the photography side of it and just whatever else. And if I can see your chat, if I find a way, then I'll chat with you. And the other option is I've been thinking about setting up some sort of art challenge for both myself and you who are watching if you want to join in, where there's just a simple challenge each day. It could be photography related, it could be painting, could be whatever art supplies you want to play with. Yeah, I think maybe I'll end up doing both in some form at different times probably, but for today, since I didn't have a plan, I wanted to do this. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and yeah, I'll post again tomorrow maybe. Let's see how we end this. Maybe we just hit the X.